Yes, sir.
Right, guys. Good evening, guys. So today we are going to start our discussion about shell scripting. Shell scripting, guys. Shell scripting we are going to discuss now. See, guys, observe carefully, guys. Observe carefully here. What is shell scripting, guys? What is the shell scripting? In this shell scripting, what is the shell, guys? What is the shell in the shell scripting? Good evening, guys. What is the shell in the shell scripting? Shell is responsible for reading the commands given by the user, guys. Let's see here, user will give some commands. In yesterday's session, right, we have given some commands, right, to run commands. We have given some commands, guys, to run. User have given some commands to run, guys. Whatever the commands we are typing, those commands will be read by shell, guys. Shell is responsible for reading the commands which are given by the user. Shell will verify the command, guys. It will read and it will verify the command and will give instructions to what, guys? Shell is not going to provide the response, guys. Shell is not going to provide the response. Just it will read the command and it will verify the syntax. Syntactically that command is correct or not, shell will verify. That command syntax is correct, then it will give the instructions to kernel to process that command, guys. Right, whatever the command user giving, right, whatever the command given by the user, first that command will be read by the shell, guys. Shell will validate that command. Syntactically that command is correct or not, shell will verify. If it is not correct syntactically, then shell only will return the error message. If syntactically that command is correct, then shell will tell to the kernel, guys. Shell will give the instructions to the kernel to process that command. Right? Kernel will use some hardware resources to process that command, guys. If you want to process any command, we should have some hardware resources, guys. We should use some hardware resources, some memory, whatever, right? Some hardware resources are required to run the commands, guys, to process the commands. Who will interact with the hardware resources, guys? Kernel will interact with the hardware resource, not shell, guys. Here two things are involved, guys. Total three things are involved. What three things are involved, guys? Shell is there, right? Here kernel is there, shell is available, kernel is available, and here we have, right, kernel is available. We have hardware resources. Hardware resources are available. Hardware resources are available, guys. Hardware components. Hardware components are available, guys. These three things are available. Right? Whatever the command is given by the user, shell will read that command. See here, I am giving ls-l. ls-l is a command. First shell will read this command and it will verify this command syntactically it is correct or not. If it is wrong syntactically, then shell only will return the error message. Syntactically, if it is correct, shell will give the instructions to kernel to process this command. What kernel will do? Kernel will communicate with the hardware components to process that request, guys. If a kernel wants to process the command, compulsory it should have some hardware components. Some memory is required to process that command, right? Where it will take the memory, guys? From hardware components. Who is going to interact with the hardware components? Kernel is going to interact with the hardware components to get the memory and to process the command, guys. See, guys, observe it here. Three things are involved: shell, kernel, and hardware components. We are giving the Linux commands. What is the life cycle of the Linux command? Linux, guys. Right? They will ask Linux architecture. How the Linux commands will execute, how the Linux commands will process, what is the Linux architecture, they will ask in the interview. The the Linux architecture, three components are involving. One is the shell component, kernel component, and hardware components. Right. So shell will read our commands and shell will verify the commands. If commands syntactically wrong, shell will return the error message. If commands are valid, then shell will give the instructions to the kernel to process those commands. Kernel will use hardware resources to process the command, guys. In interview, if they ask what is the Linux architecture means, these three things will involve, guys. Shell, kernel, hardware component. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? How it will work? Is it clear? See, guys, simple, guys. Observe carefully. Here, let me take one paint. Like this. Observe it here. Here, who will give the commands, guys? User will give the commands. User will give the commands, guys. Who will read those commands? Shell will read those commands. Here, shell is available. Right next here, kernel is available. And here we have some hardware is available, guys. Here hardwares are available. Right. Like this we have. Like this we have, guys. Here user will type the commands. User will give the commands, guys. User will give some commands. Whatever the commands user is giving, that commands shell will read those commands, guys. Shell will read those commands and shell will verify syntactically those commands are valid or invalid. Syntactically those commands are valid or invalid, shell will verify. Syntactically correct, then shell will give the instructions to kernel to process those commands. To process the commands, some hardware is required. Kernel will communicate with the hardware to get the hardware and to process the commands, guys. This is the Linux architecture, guys. This is the Linux architecture. Right here, I'm going to give some commands, guys. See, user is giving some commands. User is giving some commands like this, guys. Here, cat greater than, here demo.txt I'm giving. Right, shell will take this command. Right, is this command is correct or not? Correct only. Then shell will give the instructions to kernel to process this command. Kernel will communicate with hardware to process this command. Suppose here if I give cat, this symbol I have given. Cat, this is symbol I have given. Is this correct, guys? It is syntactically invalid. So shell won't give the instructions to kernel, guys. Shell only will return the error message. Shell only will return the invalid command not found. Now like that, it will return some error messages, guys. Is it clear how Linux architecture will work? So this is the process, guys. Shell, kernel, hardware. These three things are involved in the Linux architecture. Shell will read the commands. Shell will read the commands which are given by the user. Shell will read the commands and validate those commands. Validate those commands. Right, validate those commands which are given by the users. Which are given by user, guys. shell will read the commands and validate these commands which are given by the user. Right? If syntactically commands are valid, if command is command is valid, then shell will give the shell will give the shell will give the instructions to shell will give the instructions to kernel. Shell will give the instructions to kernel to process the command. Right here, if a command is invalid, right here kernel will execute our command with system hardware system hardware components. Right? If command is not valid, then shell will return the error message. Guys. Please read the statements, guys. Right, guys. Here, can I say like this, guys? Shell is going to work as a mediator between user and kernel. Shell is going to work as a mediator between user and kernel. Guys. Right? Kernel is going to work as a mediator between shell and hardware components. Okay, guys, read the statements once. What is shell? Clear, guys? What shell will do? Clear? Read the statements. Clear, guys? What is shell? Fine. So let me connect with our line expression. See guys, here I am giving some commands like this guys. Here ls-l I have given. ls-l I have given guys. Here ls-l command will read by the shell guys, and shell will verify if syntactically this command is correct. Then shell will give the instructions to kernel to process this command. Right? Who is returning this error report guys? Who is giving this result? Right? Kernel will process guys. Kernel will process that command. Kernel will execute that command to give this result guys. Right? By taking hardware resources. Right? Here it will take the hardware resources and it will execute to provide the response guys. Suppose here I am using l-ls. See guys, command not found. Who is returning this command not found message? Kernel or shell? Who is returning this message guys? Who is giving this message? Please respond. Who is giving this message guys? This message is giving by shell guys. This message is giving by shell. Right? First shell will verify syntactically this command is valid or not. If it is not valid, then shell only will return the error message. If it is valid, then shell will give the instructions to kernel. Kernel will process that command. Understood guys? Fine guys. Now observe carefully. Guys. Right. Daily I'm going to office morning by 10 o'clock. Right. First activity. Right. Very first activity. What I want to do? I want to check in my system. Right, what files are available. For that I need to run ls-l command. Right, now who logged in into the system I want to check. For that who am I command I need to run. I want to see what is the today date. For that date command I need to run. For that date command I need to run. Right. So next here I want to check. Other things guys. Right, these are the daily activities guys. Present working directory I want to check pwd. Right, once I logged in into the system, these are the commands which I need to execute regularly. Daily I need to run these commands guys. ls-l, who am I, date, pwd, right, calendar, cal, etc. Some commands which I need to execute daily guys. Right, we have some commands which I need to execute daily when I logged in into the system. That is my first activity which I need to do guys. Right. Suppose, right, I want to run 50 commands daily guys. If you want to type 50 commands daily manually, is it difficult or not? Sometimes you may forget the commands also. Again, you need to go to the Google and you need to check what command I need to use and you need to copy and paste it here. Right. It is very difficult to process guys. Instead of executing these commands manually, what I am going to do, I will take all these commands. Whatever my routine work is there, I will take that routine work inside one file guys. Right? I will take the common commands which I need to execute regularly. I am going to take the routine work inside a file and I will run that file daily guys. I will execute that file, single file. Instead of executing 50 commands one by one, I will execute single file. All these commands will be executed. The file, right, which I am taking to run these commands guys. Right, here I am going to put all these commands inside one file guys. I am going to maintain all these commands inside one file. Right, that file where I am going to take all these things, that is called as scripting. Scripting means what guys? What is scripting guys? The set of commands which we are mentioning inside a file for execution is called as scripting guys. See guys, here what is the scripting guys? The set of commands right, mentioned in a file for execution is called as scripting. What is scripting guys? The set of commands which we are going to mention inside a file for execution is called as scripting guys. What is scripting? The set of commands mentioned in a file for execution is called as scripting. right? What is the purpose of scripting, guys? Scripting we will use to automate our regular work, guys, routine work. Whatever our routine work is there, to automate that routine work, we are going to use scripting, guys. To automate the routine work, whatever we have, right? Routine work, to automate the routine work, we are going to use, we are using, to automate the routine work, we are using scripting, guys. To automate the routine work, we are using scripting, guys. Right? Scripting, guys. What is the purpose of scripting? To automate the routine work, we will use this scripting concept, guys. Right? To automate the routine work, we will use scripting. Okay. Right. For example, let me take like this, guys. Example, I want to execute I want to below commands. I want to execute below commands every day. I want to execute below commands at every day as a Linux user, guys. As a Linux user, I want to execute all these commands every day, guys. First, I want to check who am I. Right? Who am I? I want to check. Next, I want to check present working directory. I want to check. Next, what is the today date I want to check. And I want to check the available files, guys. I want to check the available files. ls-l, list of files I want to check. So these are the commands I want to execute daily. This is my routine work, guys. I want to execute these commands every day as a Linux user. Instead of executing all these commands manually, right, I'm going to keep all these commands inside a file for execution. Right, what I will do, I will keep all these commands inside a file and I will execute that file, guys. Instead of executing all these commands manually, instead of executing all these commands manually, right, we can keep all these commands in a file inside a file, and we can execute that file, guys. We can execute that file, guys. Instead of executing all these commands manually, we can keep all these commands inside a file and we can execute that file. And we can execute this file, guys. Right? So the file which contains the set of commands for execution is called as script file or scripting, guys. The file which contains the file which contains set of commands for execution. A file which contains set of commands for execution is called as scripting or script file. The file which contains set of commands for execution is called as scripting or script file, guys. Guys, now go through this, guys. What is scripting or script file? With this, you guys will get the clarity about what is shell scripting. What is shell? What is scripting? Right guys, what is shell scripting guys? Shell scripting is used to execute set of commands using a script file guys. In interview if they ask what is shell scripting, what answer you guys will give? Shell scripting is used to execute shell scripting is used to execute set of commands using a script file guys. Shell scripting is used to execute set of commands using a script file. Right guys, when we execute script file, what it will happen guys? It shell will read the commands which we are giving inside a file guys. Shell will read all the commands which we mentioned inside the file, and shell will verify the syntaxes. Right? If all syntactically correct, shell will give the instructions to kernel. Kernel will give the instructions to hardware components to perform actual operations. Right guys? Here we are executing a file. And whenever you executed that file, what it will happen? Inside the file, whatever the commands we mentioned, all those commands will read by shell. Right? Shell will verify those commands syntaxes. If syntaxes are correct, shell will give the instructions to process those commands. Shell will give the instructions to hardware components. So this is the right actual process what will happen guys. And what is shell scripting guys? Shell scripting is used to execute set of commands using a script file. Guys. This is shell scripting. Clear guys, what is shell scripting? Right, how many types of shell scripts we have guys? Read it guys, is it clear what is shell scripting? What is shell scripting is clear? Right guys. Next guys. In interview, there may be a chance to ask this question guys. How many shells are available? How many shells are available guys? We have several types guys. We have different types of shells are available. What types of shells are available guys? See here. Types of shells. What types of shells are available? Right guys. There are several shells available in Linux guys. There are several shells available in Linux. What shells are available guys? Here we have Bourne shell is available. And here next we have Bash shell is available. Next we have Corn shell is available. And we have C shell is available. And we have T shell is available. T shell is available. Next we have Z shell is available. Z shell. Z shell is available, etc. So like this, we have several shells are available. We have several shells are available, guys. Among all these shells, which one is the default shell, guys? Among all these things, that in Linux operating system, several shells are available. These are the shells, guys. What is shell, guys? Shell is a mediator between the user and kernel. Shell will read our commands and shell will verify the commands syntaxes whether it is correct or not. How many shells are available? We have these types of shells. Do we have only one shell or multiple, guys? Multiple shells are available. What are the shells are available? Bourne shell, bash shell, corn shell, C shell, T shell, Z shell, etc. These are the different shells are available. Here, what is shell? What is the purpose of shell? What shell will do? How many types of shells are available? Is it clear, guys? In Linux, right, see guys, here we will check what shells are available. Here what shells are available, we will check it, guys. If you want to check what shells are available in Linux machine, right, we have one command, which is command, right, we need to go to /etc folder. Inside the etc shells is available. Give cat /etc/shells. It will give all the available shells, guys. See here, if I give this command cat /etc/shells. See guys, these are the shells are available. T shell, C shell, bash shell, right? So like this, we have several shells are available. Several shells are available at here, guys. Understood, guys? What shells are available? Bash shell is available. Right, sash right here, sh is available, C shell is available, T shell is available. Like that, several shells are available. Right, how you will get the shells in Linux machines, guys? How you will display the shells which are available in Linux machine, guys? Right, to display the shells which are available in Linux machine. Right, what is the command we need to give here? $cat /etc/shells we need to give. Guys, I want to see the what is the default shell currently my Linux machine is using. Which default shell my Linux machine is using currently? I want to know that. For that, what we need to give? Echo here $shell we need to give. Echo $shell. See guys, it is using bash shell. Bash is the default shell, guys. Bash is the default shell. It currently here my Linux machine is using bash shell. Bash shell it is using, guys. Bash is the default shell, guys. Bash is the default shell. Right? Which out of all these shells, which one is most user one, guys? Mostly user shell is what? Bash shell, guys. Right? Display the current shell. Display the current shell. Display the current shell which is using in Linux machine. What is that, guys? See here $echo right here $shell, guys. $shell. So this is the environment variable, guys. $shell is the environment variable, guys. Right? Inside this value is there. That value it is printing. What is the default shell in our machine, guys? Bash is the default shell in our machine. Bash is the default shell in our machine, guys. Right. Among all these shells, which shell is used mostly, guys? Mostly we will use bash shell only. The most commonly used shell among all these shells is bash shell. Bash shell, guys. Right, in Linux, the most commonly used shell is bash shell. It is very powerful than other shells, guys. It is more powerful than other shells, guys. Here, guys, have a look into this. What types of shells are available? There are several shells are available in Linux operating system. Bourne shell, bash shell, corn shell, C shell, T shell, jet shell. If you want to display the shells which are available in Linux machine, we need to use this command. Cat /etc /shells we need to use. It will display all the available shells. Right? If you want to display the default shell, right, you can take default or current. Default shell which is using in Linux machine. Echo, right, echo dollar shell we need to use. In Linux, the most commonly used shell is bash shell. Bash shell is more powerful than other shells, guys. Understood, guys? Right, guys? Right. So let me write one simple shell file, guys. Let me write one simple file. Let me write one simple file, guys. How we will create, guys? vi I'm going to take test.sh. Right, for shell script file we need to take .sh as the extension. For shell script we need to take .sh as the extension, guys. Here I'm taking test.sh. Test.sh. Inside that, go to insert mode. Here I'm going to write some commands. Here I'm going to write some commands, guys. Inside the scripting file, what we will write, guys? Commands only we will write. Here I'm going to write some commands. Who am I? Who am I? I want to print. Right. Right, I will do. 1 minute. Who am I? Who am I? I'm taking. Right here. PWD I am taking. PWD I am taking. Next. Date I am taking. Next. Cal I am taking. Next. ls-l I am taking. See, guys, these are the commands which I want to execute. I'm taking all these commands inside a file. And save this file wq. wq, guys. Here I have saved this file. How you will run this shell script file, guys? How you will run this shell script file, guys? Right, what is the command we need to use to run the shell script file? Anyone can tell what is the command we need to give to run the shell script file? Right, see, guys, sh space file name we need to give. Right, here we can use that also, not a problem. Test dot, here what is our file name? Test.sh. Test.sh, guys. So this is the file name we are using, guys. Right, run this one. See, guys, right here first command I have given who am I. It is printing I am the EC2 user. Next I have given pwd, that's why it is printing present working directory. Next I have given date command, that's why it is printing the date. Next I have given cal command, that's why it is printing the calendar. Next I have given ls-l, that's why it is printing all the files, list of files it is printing. Understood, guys? Is this clear? Right, instead of executing, see, if you want to get EC2 user, we need to run who am I separately. If you want to get this one, you need to run pwd command separately. If you want this one, you need to run date command separately. If you want this one, you need to run cal command separately. If you want these details, you need to run ls-l command separately. Instead of executing all the commands manually, I'm going to mention all the commands inside a file and I'm going to execute that file. That file, right, whatever the file, right, the file which we are taking to mention the commands, that file is called as script file. Script file, guys. Understood, guys? See, guys, here what I have taken. Right, let me take this one, guys. Let me take this one. And here, first shell script program. first shell script program I'm taking. Now here what we need to take, guys, here create a script file. Create a script file first. Create a script file. Create a script file, guys. How you will create, guys? By using this vi test.sh I am taking. Test.sh I am taking. Inside this, we need to give all the required comments. Inside this, we need to give all the required comments. PMI I am giving. PMI I am giving. Next, PWD I am giving. Next here, date command I am giving. Cal command I am giving. Right here, ls-l command I am giving. Right, after giving all these things, what we need to do? Right, save the file and close it. Save the file and close it. Right, how you will close it, guys? See, guys, here esc escape :wq enter. Enter we need to give, right? So it will save and close the file, guys. It will save and close the file. Right, next what we need to, guys? Run the script file. Run the shell script. Third command, third statement, run the shell script. Run the shell script. What is the command we need to take to run the shell script, guys? See here, right, sh test.sh. Test.sh, guys. It will run our script file. It will run our script file, guys. Guys, you can run with this also. You can run with this also, guys. $/test.sh. So you can use this one also, guys. Right, yes. In interview, there may be a chance to ask, right, what is Shabang in shell script? Shabang in shell script. Shabang in shell script file. What is Shabang, guys? What is Shabang, guys? Okay, here, if you open this file, here, if you open this file, guys, right, yes, here Shabang is a right shell which we are going to specify inside the script file, guys. Shabang we will use it to specify the shell, guys. Here we have several types of shells are available, right? Bash shell, right? Bash shell, right? Here C shell, T shell, Jet shell, like that. Several shells are available. Bin shell is available. Several shells are available, guys. Right, inside the script file, we need to tell, right, which shell I want to use to execute your commands. Right, which shell I want to use to execute your commands, we can specify that inside the script file. If you are not specifying that, then it will take the default shell only. Right, if you are not specifying that, then it will take the default shell only. See, guys, here I'm going to use vi test.sh. See, guys, here am I specifying anything? Which shell it has to use to run these commands? No, I'm not specifying. If you are not specifying that, then it will take the default shell to execute these commands. Right? But explicitly we can tell which shell it has to use to run these commands. Which shell I want to use to run these commands? Explicitly we can tell. To specify the shell which you want to use to run these commands is called as Shabang. Shabang is used to specify the shell, guys, to execute the commands. Is it clear, guys? How you will specify that? How you will specify the Shabang, guys? See here at the beginning, guys. At the beginning, we can able to specify. Let me go to here. Go to insert mode. See, guys, here at the beginning we can able to use, guys, if you specify, it will take that shell to process these commands. If you are not specifying, then it will take the default shell to process these commands, guys. If you specify, it will take those commands only to process. If you are not specifying, then it will take the default shell to process these commands. What is the default shell, guys? Here, what is the default shell? Here, the default shell is bash shell. Here, the default shell is bash shell, guys. How we will specify, guys? Like this. Hash symbol and the not symbol we need to use. Here, /bin /bash, guys. /bin /bash. Here, I want to use, right, bash shell to process this command. Here, I am telling with this, right, I want to use bash shell to process these commands. And here you can use C shell. Here you can use C shell, you can use T shell, whatever the shell you want to use to process these commands, you can specify it here. Right? If you are not specifying, then it will take default shell, guys. WQ. Now let me run this, guys. Sh test.sh. See, guys, it is working. It is working, guys. Now explicitly we are telling which shell it has to take to process the commands, guys. Right? If you are not taking anything, it will take the default shell. Default shell is the bash shell, guys. Now in interview, if they ask what is Shabang in shell script file, means what answer you guys will give? Right? We will use Shabang. We will use to specify which shell should be used to process our script. Right? Shabang we will use to specify which shell, right, which shall be used to process our script, guys. For that purpose, we need to use Shabang, guys. Here, let me add that point. Shabang in shell script file. Shabang is used to specify the shell which is used to process our script. Guys. Shabang is used to specify the shell which is used to process our script. Guys. How you will specify Shabang, guys? How you will specify the Shabang? Like this, guys. Inside the script file, we need to take like this, guys. /bin /bash I'm using it here. /bin /bash I'm using, guys. Guys, here we are using Amazon Linux 2. Here we are using Amazon Linux 2. In that Amazon Linux 2, right, bash is a default shell. Tomorrow you may use Ubuntu. Maybe in that Ubuntu, different default shell is available. Right, you will use Red Hat. Maybe in that Red Hat, different default shell will available, guys. But in Amazon Linux, we have this bash shell as the default shell, guys. Bash shell as the default shell. Right, we have several distributions are available, guys. Several distributions are available in Linux. Distribution to distributions, the default shell may get changed, guys. Distribution to distribution, the default shell may get changed. See, guys, here how I have given like this. Guys, what is Shabang, guys? Shabang is used to specify the shell which is used to process our script. Right, we are using Amazon Linux 2. In that Amazon Linux 2, the default shell is bash. Right, here, see, guys, like this. Hash not /bin /bash. Right, so this is the shell which I want to use to process my script file. Right, so here the default, even if you are not specifying this, it will take the default shell, guys. It will take the default shell. right? That default shell may get change, right? Distribution to distribution. Now we are using Amazon Linux. In Amazon Linux, it is bash is the default shell. Tomorrow, if you connect with Ubuntu, in Ubuntu there may be a different default shell, guys. Different default shell. Is it clear, guys? Up to here clear? What is Shabang? How to write the simple script file, clear? Right, guys. Let me write one more script file, guys. Let me write one more script file. Go to here. Here on level, right? Otherwise here on level, right? See, guys, here I'm going to write one more script file, guys. Right, I'm going to write one more script file. I want to print some messages, guys. I want to print some messages. Right, guys. If you want to print any messages, then we need to use echo. Echo we need to use, guys. Here I'm going to take like this. Echo we will use to print the messages, guys. Echo, welcome to DevOps with AWS classes. Welcome to DevOps with AWS classes. Right here, echo, today we are learning shell scripting. Right, like this I have taken, guys. Like this I have taken. Now save this one, WQ. Right, now run this file, guys. Shell test.sh. See, guys, are you getting these messages or not? If you want to print anything inside the shell script, guys, if you want to take the print statements inside the shell script, then we need to use echo. If you want to write the print statements, then we need to use echo, guys. Echo, we need to use it here. Guys, okay, I want to read the data from the input, guys. I want to read the data from the keyboard. I want to read the data and I want to print a corresponding message, guys. What we need to do? Go to here. Here I'm going to take 1 minute. Let me take this one. This is another script file. Let me take one more script file here. Here what I will do, I will take the data from the keyboard, guys. Input I am going to take from the keyboard. Input I am going to take from the keyboard, guys. For that, what we are going to do, observe carefully. Here let me go to insert mode. Here. I want to take enter echo, enter course name. Enter course name I am taking, guys. Enter course name I am going to take it here. Enter course name. Right, now that course name I want to read, guys. That course name I want to read. Right, that's why here read name I am taking it here. After reading the course name from the keyboard, I want to print this message, guys. Echo, welcome to, right here I want to give like this. Welcome to dollar name I am giving, and here I will give like this. Dollar name I am giving, and here classes, like this I am giving it here. See, guys, enter course name. I want to enter the course name. I want to provide the course name dynamically from the keyboard. Right, after that, right, with this name only, I want to print this statement, guys. Now run this one, WQ. Right, now sh test.sh. See, it is asking to enter the course name. Is it asking to enter the course name or not? Dynamically, I am providing the course name. Here I am giving AWS. See, guys, welcome to AWS classes. It is printing. Welcome to AWS classes. It is printing. Now here I am going to run this. Enter course name. DevOps I am giving. DevOps I am giving it here. Welcome to DevOps classes. It is printing. Now here I am going to give Spring. Spring I am giving Spring Boot. Right now here, welcome to Spring Boot classes. It is printing, guys. So like this, we can read the data from the keyboard dynamically, and we can print that message also. Right? How to read the data from the dynamically? By using read argument. By using read argument, we can read the data from the keyboard dynamically. See, guys, here what I am using, read I am using to read the data, echo I am using to print the data, guys. If you want to read the data from the keyboard, we need to use read. If you want to print the data, then we need to use echo. Read we will use to read purpose, echo we will use to print purpose, guys. Is it clear, guys? If you want to read the data, then we need to use the read statement. If you want to print the data, then we need to use echo statement, guys. Right, guys. Now let me take one more example, guys. Let me take one more example. We will do some this kind of examples, addition, subtractions. Right? We will take those kind of examples, guys. Okay, here only I will do. See, guys, here I want to perform, right, addition or subtraction, these kind of activities I want to perform. Okay, now how to write the script file to perform additions, subtractions, these kind of activity. See, guys, here I'm going to take a value, a equal to 10 I am taking, b equal to 20 I am taking, a equal to 10 I am taking, b equal to 20 I am taking. Now here c equal to, see, guys, how to take, right, dollar, right, dollar, here we need to take like this, guys, and here dollar a plus dollar b I am taking, dollar a plus dollar b, guys. Here inside, guys, if you want to get the value of a, we need to use dollar a. Right? If you want to get the value of a, you need to get a dollar a, guys. If you use only a, you won't get the value. If you, right here, what I want to get, whatever the value I stored inside the a, right, that value I want to get, then we need to use dollar a. At the same time, here I want to get the value of dollar b. Between I am using plus operator. So addition will be performed. Whatever the value it will return, that value I am going to store inside the C variable. Now I am going to print that C value. I am going to print that C value. To print that, what command we need to use? Echo. Echo we need to use it here. Here I am using echo. Echo. Here the sum of given two numbers. The sum of given two numbers, right, is, the sum of given two numbers is, right, here I am going to use dollar C. Right, inside the C, whatever the value is available, that value you will get it here. Save it. Run this one. And not found. 10 plus 20 command not found. The sum of given two numbers is. Okay, let me check it. What error is there? Dollar a, dollar b. Go to insert mode. Take one more parenthesis here. Now check it. Fine. See here the sum of given two numbers is 30 we are getting. The sum of given two numbers is 30. See guys what we have written. Right here a value I am taking, b value I am taking. I want to do the addition. For that here if you want to get the a value then we need to use $a plus if you want to get the b value then we need to use $b. If you do combine both a plus b you will get 30. That 30 I am assigning to c variable. Now here I am going to print the value which is available inside the C. The sum of given two numbers, what you are getting 30 you are getting it here. The sum of given two numbers 30 you are getting it here. See yes, now what I will do? Here I have hard coded the values guys. Here I have hard coded the values a equal to 10, b equal to 20. Instead of hard coding the values like this, I will take from the keyboard. Dynamically I will take these two values guys. A value and b value dynamically I will take. Instead of hard coding, dynamically I will take a value and b value. Right, we'll see guys. We'll see. See guys how to take this dynamically. Go to here, go to insert mode. Right here what I am going to do, I'm not right, only these two things I want to change guys. Here echo here I am going to give enter a value. Enter a value I am taking. Enter a value I am taking it here. Right, next here read a value we need to read. Next here echo enter b value I am taking. Enter b value I am taking it here. Now here read b I need to take. That's it guys. Enter a value I want to read from the keyboard, read a. Enter b value I want to read from the keyboard, read b. Then I want to find out sum and I want to print that. Save it guys. Save it. Right now run this one. Enter a value 100 I am giving. Enter b value 200 I am giving. See the sum of given two numbers is 300. The sum of given two numbers is 300. So like this we can take the values dynamically from the keyboard by using read. Right guys, we will use echo to print. We will use to read the data from the keyboard. Is it clear guys? Up to here clear? Up to here clear guys? How to write the scripting files up to here clear? We need to discuss how to write the conditions, how to write the loops. Those things also we need to discuss guys. Clear guys, up to here any questions? So what is the shell? What is the scripting? What is the Linux architecture? What is shell scripting? What is Shabang in the shell scripting? What are the different types of shells are available? How to print the default shell which our Linux machine is using? How to write this simple. What is the print statement? What is the read statement? So these things are clear guys. Up to here clear? Guys respond. Good guys. Please practice this guys. Tomorrow session we will see how to write the conditions, how to write the loops, right? So how to write the functions. Right? We can write functions also inside the shell scripting guys. How to write all those things we will understand in tomorrow session. Okay. Fine, guys. I'm stopping here. Right, please go through these notes once. Tomorrow we will discuss all those things. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. Good night. We will connect tomorrow.